before you say I do, listen up. Because there are 3 absolutely critical questions you need to ask. And honestly, they could literally save you from years of heartbreak, deep disappointment, and just complete emotional exhaustion. It's so incredibly easy to get swept up in the romance, but today we're laying out a strategic, psychological framework for evaluating a partner's emotional maturity and true character. Okay, let's dive right into this. Now, before we hit the actual questions, a huge welcome back to all of our returning viewers. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel or follow the page wherever you're watching this video from right now. Oh, and hit that bell icon on YouTube so you're the absolute first to get notified when I upload a new video. All right, back to it. You know, love is amazing, but it can make you completely overlook red flags. Chemistry can literally cloud your judgment, but a real, sustainable union, it's not built on feelings alone. It requires truth. Section 1, Beyond the Initial Attraction, the Danger of Chemistry. It is just so easy to get totally swept up in the wedding planning, right? The dresses, the venues, that undeniable spark you feel with your partner. So initially, we ask things like, does he make me happy? And hey, don't get me wrong, those questions absolutely matter. But the reality check we eventually face is much, much harsher. We have to ask, how does he behave when conflict actually arrives? Because let's be real, toxic relationships rarely start out toxic. They start out fun, full of excitement and promises. The real issues, they emerge when finances get stressful or when expectations clash. That's when reality hits and a person's true psychology bubbles right up to the surface. All right, moving on to question 1, assessing accountability. Let's look at the first part of the psychological blueprint. So here is the exact question you need to ask him. Ready? What do you think makes a marriage fail? Now, I want you to pose this specific question to your partner. Pick a quiet moment, keep it super casual, ask it, and then just sit back. Pay very, very close attention to how they respond. Whatever you do, do not guide them to an answer. Just let them speak freely. Because what they say next is going to give you a direct window into their core belief system. When you're analyzing what he says, you want to watch for some very specific behaviors. For instance, does he blame only women? Does he blame only men? Or does he take a more balanced view? See, a mature man understands that relationships require mutual accountability. It's a two-way street. If he just sits there and constantly blames others, like his exes or just external circumstances for all his past relationship failures, without ever looking in the mirror, wow, that is a massive warning sign. You absolutely need someone who shows true accountability. Let's move to and see how this builds. Question 2. Revealing self-awareness. Okay, here's your second crucial question. Ask him, tell me about a mistake that changed your life. Now, this isn't just small talk, not at all. This is a highly strategic tool designed to completely expose a person's level of self-awareness. What you're really looking to see here is if he can look backward at his own timeline, accurately identify a moment where he totally messed up, and, this is the kicker, recognize the actual impact of that mistake. So when he answers this, you've got to filter his response carefully. Can he clearly admit wrongdoing? Can he reflect on his own actions, rather than just spinning a story about what happened to him? Does he actually learn from failure? And most importantly, does he display humility? Listen, I literally cannot stress this enough. A man who lacks humility, a man who simply cannot acknowledge his own mistakes, is going to struggle to grow. And in a marriage, if he lacks that self-awareness, inevitable conflicts won't be an opportunity for deeper understanding. They're just going to turn into bitter, exhausting battles. No thank you. Let's hit the third and final question. Question 3, emotional maturity. For this one, you just simply ask, how do you handle situations when you don't get your way? Yeah, it's a bit blunt, but it is incredibly necessary. Because the answer to this question, both in exactly what he says and how he says it, is going to predict precisely how he's likely to behave during future marital disagreements. Think about it. When he doesn't get his way, does he become angry, aggressive? Does he suddenly give you the silent treatment and just withdraw emotionally? Maybe he tries to manipulate the situation to his advantage. Or, and this is what we want, Does he communicate respectfully, even when he's clearly disappointed? You guys, emotional maturity is totally non-negotiable for a healthy, stable marriage. You absolutely have to know how he processes disappointment before you go signing any marriage license. Now, what's really interesting about this next slide is how it ties everything together. Section 4, the ultimate test, consistent actions. Character is not revealed by what a person says. It is revealed by what a person consistently does. Honestly, this is the Trojan horse truth of this entire video. Because let's be real, anyone can say the right words. Anyone can sound wise and empathetic and mature for a 5-minute conversation. It's easy. But consistent behavior over a long period of time, that is literally the only reliable metric for a person's true character. Which leads us to the greatest psychological question of all. But here's the twist. This isn't actually a question you ask him. It's the question you must bravely and honestly ask yourself. Do his actions match his words? If he says communication is important, does he actually sit down and communicate with you when things get tough? If he says he values honesty, is he truthful even when it makes him super uncomfortable? Diligent observation is your absolute best tool here. And this brings us to a few absolute rules for protecting your own self-worth. Rule number 1, never marry potential. I repeat, never marry potential. You are not marrying the man you hope he'll miraculously become in 5 or 10 years. You are marrying the man standing right in front of you today. Rule number 2, never marry promises. Now, don't get me wrong, promises are wonderful, but they are essentially a credit system. And you cannot build a lifelong, secure partnership on credit. You've got to build it on proven integrity. Empty words are entirely meaningless if they aren't backed up by a solid history of follow-through. And the final punchy rule, marry the person they consistently show you they are. Your self-worth simply must be stronger than your desire to just be married. Because the harsh truth is this, a delayed marriage is always, always better than a painful one. So prioritize proven integrity over those romanticized expectations. All right, let's quickly summarize our key takeaways from today. First, always pay attention to patterns over promises. Second, watch their behavior, not just their words. And third, and this is so important to remember, the right partner is not going to fear these deep, probing conversations. Actually, a quality partner will welcome them because they want a strong, transparent foundation just as much as you do. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. What psychological question do you think every woman should ask before marriage? Because the quality of your marriage really does depend on the questions you are brave enough to ask before it even begins. Make sure you like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching.